Nice.
Loved it. Love it.
Okay, real quick before we get rolling here, I want to plug Jillian. If anybody here doesn't know, Jillian was out very early on what the hell? Pat, you can chime in here. What season of Survivor was Jillian on? Yeah, that one. And but she works with Michelle's Place with a breast cancer charity and does this reality rally in Temecula, California. Do we have that clip? Are we ready to roll that for Jillian? And here we go.
Hi, this is Jillian from Survivor Gabon and Reality Rally. We had the most amazing event last April and we're doing it again in April, and there's something in it for you, for everybody. You can come and play a 4-hour amazing race game. 3 fun, enthusiastic people paired with a reality star. You can sponsor, donate, fundraise, volunteer, party, watch for free. There's something in it for everybody. Come on down, check it out, realityrally.com.
Nice lady.
Nice.
Great. Very, very good charity. I'm very discriminating on my charities because have been hooked in by some bullshit ones and raised a lot of money for them to stick in their pocket. Not going to say who. Nikki at the Las Vegas reality thing in fucking September. She can kiss my ass.
Yes.
Anyhow, I'll talk shit more about her when the time is closer. I love ripping on her. We were expecting to have who is it? Misa and Maya? That's the names, right? Am I fucking the names up? This is the names, right? But I had to go through CBS, their handlers there, and there's a bunch of fucking hoops to jump through and all this bullshit. We had a clip ready, and just because I had this ready for them because I expected them to be here, but obviously they're not because CBS is afraid of me, always has been, and what I'm going to say and everything else. So, but this has to be one of the funniest, stupidest, most ridiculous eliminations of all time. And I told him I was going to have be ready with this one. Can we roll the clip where they're... Where's Phil? Where's Phil? Can we roll that?
Where is he? He's here somewhere. Is he over here anywhere? No, go the other way. Where the hell is he? Let's just go around by the cars. We gotta run.
Where'd they go?
Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, man.
I love the look on Phil's face. He's just like, what the fuck are they doing? I'm over here. Actually, she did hit it. Actually, they both hit me up on Twitter. Like, we love the that you did of us last week. So I thought that I would do it again. And there you go, ladies. Get it all clear with CBS, and you can join us. I don't think you'll be giving anything away. I know. Okay, I brought this up before we came on. I'm going to bring it up again. Very, very hard week on CBS for reality shows. Survivor last week had their lowest rated episode in the history of Survivor with, I think it was just over 10 million, which is still good. I mean, the highest rated episode of Big Brother ever was 9.9 million. But when you're coming from 45 million, that's a big tumble. And last night's, and at least Amazing Race has an excuse because they were up against the Oscars. Last night was Amazing Race's lowest rated episode ever. Is it because of the Oscars, or is it because people are sick and fucking tired of looking and listening to Rachel? Let's go around the horn here. Let's get some opinions, and let's start with Kaylani. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if you can blame it on the Oscars. People still watch the race. I mean, there is TiVo, so I don't know if I can blame it on the Oscars.
So you're blaming it on Rachel.
I'm going to have to agree with that.
Jonathan, you saying Oscars or Rachel?
It's definitely the Oscars. And you know what? Brendan and Rachel are reality television turkeys. And because of that, they get my approval of watching, because without them, it wouldn't be a train wreck.
Oh, it's a slow motion train wreck. And we're all watching for like little body parts flying, and last night we had boogers flying, and we'll get to that booger clip later, which was my favorite line of the night. Raymond, is it because of Rachel or is it because of the Oscars?
Well, first of all, let me say that Jonathan and myself would know about train wrecks. So with that in mind, I would say without a doubt it's the Oscars. I don't know Rachel. I didn't watch her on Big Brother. I could care less whether she was on or she wasn't in. It's not enough time yet to really hate her if you don't know her. So it was the Oscars.
But if you do know her, you don't need any time.
People are intrigued with them, though. Whether they hate them or like them, people are definitely intrigued with both
It's
of them.
the people love them or love to hate them, and that's what CBS loves to cast. As long as people are talking about somebody, they don't give a shit if it's Jeff and Jordan. They love them, or they don't care if it's Jesse or Rachel that people hate, or Johnny Fairplay, who people hate. At least they're making a mark, and people are talking about it, and that's what they want. The water cooler talk. Rachel or the Oscars?
I think it was the Oscars because I particularly enjoyed when she started crying. That made me want to watch more, and I think other people should have wanted to watch more because of that.
Okay, I'm going to point one thing out that I pointed out all season of last season of Big Brother. If you watch Rachel, you will never, ever see a tear. She'll cry constantly. You will never see mascara running, and it's not because it's waterproof. It's because those are fake tears, okay?
We should try to find all the clips of her crying and
I was talking to the producer, Pat, and we were going to do a montage of her crying, but we figured that it would take up the entire hour between 2 seasons of Big Brother and this season of Amazing Race. Otav, you got an opinion on this. Is it Rachel or is it Oscar?
It's hard to tell, because the Oscars is a pretty big deal, but so is Rachel, too. I mean, she won Big Brother, after all. And Big Brother is pretty good. But the thing about the alligator tears, I wanted to make a comment on that, too, because when I was watching her, she seemed like she was so frustrated and crying and things like that, but I didn't see any tears coming out of her eyes. And then her boyfriend got all mad at her, and she got mad at the boyfriend, and I thought, he didn't do anything wrong, and then it made me think, well, I guess I know who wears the trousers in that relationship.
Exactly. It's the worst codependent relationship I think that's ever been on television. We have okay. One thing that I hate about The Amazing Race, and I'm probably going to end up saying this every episode I'm on here, is they let everyone catch up all the time, and it pisses me off. I agree. You see them, let them go. Okay, it's they have their little stopwatch. Okay, first team out, go, and then like 5 minutes later, okay, second team, and then what are they? They're waiting. It looked like for like 2 or 3 hours for the Argentinian guy to come out on the horseback to give him the clip. What the fuck is the point of letting him? You could have let me sleep a little, yet something. I mean. It's a race. It's a race. They let them catch up all the time, and that pisses me off. So they didn't used to do, but they do it all the time now.
No, they always did that, except for the very, very early seasons. I think somebody has
and they stopped it. Yeah, exactly. They were, but they should be days behind.
They stopped it actually in season 5 is when they started running people around, and they perfected it right after the family edition. So I mean, they've learned how to not make a race and make a TV show and do a scavenger hunt instead of us just kind of running to the airport and doing the travel game. And I'm with you. I miss it. I miss the fast forward. I miss the game within the game. I've said this over and over. It's just amazing how we are not part of their show. We're kind of like a mouse in a trap running down the running towards each other.
Yeah. Did anybody else predict the whole breaking down of the bus thing? Because
who could predict that?
It happens on every season.
Every season, somebody's car or bus or something breaks down to where everybody else passes them. Just seems
how do you think this mysterious window blew into the bus? That.
Yeah. How does that
I don't think that it's like any drug lords taking pot shots at the bus, but I mean, it's either a rock or or a gunshot or something. I mean, the bus window just doesn't blow in. What the fuck?
There's
Really?
such
Tony,
thing
are
as
you
movie
saying-
magic? Wait, we're making a TV show. It's movie magic. Jeez.
Are you saying it's contrived, Kaylani?
Chucked a rock at
I don't know. I just there's always something strange that conveniently happens on every Amazing Race. Somebody's car, somebody's bus, and I mean, what happened to the bus? That all of a sudden, I didn't see a rock on the floor. I didn't see anybody looking for it just blew out all of a sudden, or did
Right.
Was there a pirate technician sitting there pushing
I think
a
they
button?
just put in a weak windshield, and as soon as there was a bump in the road, it went ba-boom.
Conspiracy theories now.
Yes, yes.
I could vouch for a couple of those, but well, I think you're bound to have things like that happen in some cases. I mean, the logistics of traveling around the world and setting all this up and having it go flawlessly, it's too hard to do that. But sometimes I do believe that some of this is done on purpose.
Absolutely. No, for sure it's done on purpose. They know what they're doing. They're making
Some
a
of
TV
it.
show. I mean, come on. We've all been on their network. So at this point, let's just agree that they are behind the conspiracy.
Not all of them.
Well,
No, I agree.
the producers in every show have way of manipulating things because they want particular people to get farther because why? Ratings. It's all about money. That's plain and simple.
And I don't blame
It's
them.
about selling commercials. It's not, if they could get away with playing 60 minutes of motherfucking commercials, they would do it. But they have to put a show in between the commercials, and that's how they make money. And keep
Amazing
people's
Race
attention.
is the most pure out of all of the competition reality shows because it's harder to screw with that show than with all the others. All the others are easy. Big Brother, Survivor. I mean, they're it's like a mouse in a cage. We're running actually through different production sets, so they do it. They just don't do it as much.
Oh, I thought The Real Housewives was like the most pure reality show.
I did too.
That's not a competition reality
The Jersey
show.
Shore. I'm
That's
fucking
not
with
a
you.
competition reality
Fucking with
show.
you, all right.
No.
Yeah, but it's all, for Big Brother, expect the unexpected, which really
Right.
means expect the producers to fuck with you
Right,
because they want the
absolutely.
people that they want to go farther to go farther.
Yes.
And
And
that's what it's
Survivor,
all about.
Outwit,
Right.
Outplay, and they do the same thing.
How do they fuck with
No.
you on those shows?
Well, they
Oh, they throw
basically
twists
know-
in like constantly that get people thrown out of the game in Big Brother all the time. And
Big
Survivor,
Brother probably
if
has
they-
the most to control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they have votes, which nobody ever sees what the real results of the polls are. You got the producers going, you know who won this one, and who's going to get the magic coup d'etat, the biggest power that's ever instilled, Jeff, and shit like that. They always
think
do
that
shit
the
like
way
that on
that-
Big Brother.
On
don't-
Survivor,
doesn't-
the way that they would do that, I think, is that they're very clever with the camera crews and the sound crews. I think it's very easy for somebody to say, so where do you think an immunity idol might be? And I know that I've seen that on our show where the hidden clue might be, if you follow closely, you can
Follow the
get...
cameraman.
That's what
Exactly.
all the survivors
Yeah.
say too. Is like the cameraman will be like,
I think
That's
Russell
where
had
could
that
the
happen
idol
to him.
be?
Russell
Gordon,
had
make a
that
good
happen to
point
him a
out.
lot, I believe.
Oh,
Russell,
but
where is the
I
immunity
give
idol?
I give it to Russell. Russell was the first one that went out there and actually looked for the fucking thing before getting clues or anything else. And you still have these idiots that are out there right now. You have the gay guy Colby that found that got the idol from the women's tribe, but yet the men's tribe, nobody's even looking, trying to get someone from the women on their side by finding the idol.
Right.
They watch these shows. They say they're super fans. They get out there and play, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Hey, I'm going to go on record and say that I am a super fan. I love it, even with the ratings low. If those shows were off the air, I'd be depressed. I love Survivor. I love Big Brother. I love Amazing Race. All the competition reality shows have a spark to them because of what we're talking about. Only because they're competition reality shows. The rest of them are all set up.
What I'm going to say is what makes these competition reality shows, the CBS competition reality shows, to me makes them good is the personalities on the people that they cast. It's not the twists. It's not a Redemption Island. It's not a Fast Forward. It's not a Coup d'etat or any of these other fucking bullshit that they throw in there. It's good casting is what makes a
That's
good
why I
season.
love Brandon and Rachel.
They're They are casting gold. That's why they've been on
They
2
really
seasons of
are.
Big Brother
Yeah.
and 1 season of Amazing Race. And
They
if
have
But I-
CBS
They
knew
need
what
to
was
go
good
to
for them,
porn. They need to
they
make
would
porn.
also pay for their wedding because Rachel would be a fucking disaster to watch during her wedding. It would be, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I see now a lot of the people they cast are trying to play the roles of other people they've seen in earlier shows.
Yes.
They were
Right.
originals before that. Now you're trying to be Russell, or you're trying to be Jonathan, or you're trying to be somebody else. And I think,
But I think
it's
the-
too contrived. Sometimes I see right through that.
But I think most of the time the people that the fans really latch on to are the people that are original. Are the people that go in there and they don't play to the cameras. They, while Rachel does play to the cameras a lot, she'd be
I
like,
played to the
"Oh,
fucking
Brandon!"
camera.
But
"Oh, you know.
but the fans love it though, They end up like eating all that up.
As long as it's
No.
not obvious and it looks natural, like
well.
Jonathan, you played to the cameras, you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
but you look like you were doing what you would be doing in real life anyway.
Not to that degree, but yes.
Well, you know what I
was-
mean.
Yeah, I had fun. I really had fun. I always say you either run towards the light or you run away from the light. You're either in
Carol
that
Ann,
ride
Carol
or you're
Ann.
afraid.
Go towards the light, Caroline. No, go away from the light, Caroline. Okay. Okay, look, another one. And Kat, feel free to jump in here. You don't have to be so quiet. You're not here just to sit here and look pretty.
Okay, I'll jump in. Thanks for clearing that up for me, though.
No, I know when
pretty,
the first time
that's
that you do this, sometimes it's like kind of intimidating to interrupt people and stuff. But just jump in. The Survivor people, I can't shut them the fuck up now. I gotta tell them, okay, be
I'll
quiet.
try that.
Stop
Shut the fuck
talking
up.
over everyone. Which challenge, you guys did this, which challenge would you have picked? I know a lot, it's most of the time it's like blind, might as well take out 2 cards and say A or B. You don't know which one. Everybody picked the solar panel, but the 2 really smart guys that couldn't believe that they were behind because they're so much smarter than everybody else, and they picked the mule, and that one ended up being, it seemed much, if they would have been there on time and not got lost, they would have kicked everybody's ass.
See, when I went, I actually thought about what was conserve the most energy, what was like kind of in a more condensed area, rather than running around back and forth. I probably wouldn't have picked the donkeys. I probably would have picked the solar panels. I mean, it took a lot longer with the solar panels, but it seemed like it was more like in a conserve energy because, if you just exert yourself in the first few challenges on that first leg, you want to save enough enough energy just in case that last challenge happens to be, a little bit more strenuous.
My
I was
rule was,
gonna pick the mule or donkey, whatever it was, because I've seen other episodes where they won't move. So when I saw that, I was like, hell no, I would never
That's
put
all right.
that.
That's a really good point, and I would have never, ever, ever even considered that. That's a
Well,
really good point.
that happened in our season with llamas, and that's exactly why I didn't pick that challenge, is because I have no idea how long it takes to move a llama. I knew it was hard to carry a basket, but I could comprehend that and figure out, what it might take me to do. And the other thing is, the big secret to that, they used to preach that to us, and probably you guys too, read your clues. You can get a lot of hints if you really read that clue in depth and figure out maybe a little bit more of what's involved in that challenge. And I regret not doing that in the league we got eliminated.
Well, isn't that the way that Ethan and Jenna got eliminated? Well, actually, there was a little sign.
No,
on
they
the
just
table or
forgot to sign something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give all their
Yeah.
money or whatever.
Clues give a lot of details. They give a lot of details if you read them.
I'm going to chime in and kind of go in the opposite direction of everybody. My theory is that when people went in one direction, I would take the other direction. So wherever the group would go, I would take the opposite one. That's what worked for me a lot during my season. But what Ray is saying is for sure, 100%, it's the additional information that will screw you up and that will also help you. And if you mess with that additional information, you will get eliminated.
Yeah, if you
Right.
miss one little line on the additional information that says, make sure you walk, don't take a cab, you could be screwed for the rest of the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and what we went over last week, too, was like anyone that is even in your camera shot, you need to get signed or release, and then you get an asshole that wants to read every fucking word of the thing where you're like ready to just slit their throat. Get rid of that motherfucker! Just sign it!
Well, there's a lot
Blur
of
their
things
face
like
out,
that.
do something!
There's a lot of things like that that could slow you down. Now, we got eliminated in a foot race, and the team that beat us,
I love
they
the
stop
foot race.
sometimes, and they put the camera crew, they take them out of the car, they film you leaving with just 2 people in it. They stop the car, bring it back, put the camera crew in the car, and then take off. They did that to us. They didn't do it to the brothers that beat us in a foot race, and we lost by seconds. So, there's a lot of things like that can just take extra time that nobody knows.
See, what I heard, and I mentioned last week too, was I've had people from the Amazing Race tell me, and then everybody last week denied it, but I'm going to bring it up again just because I'm an asshole, is that they put the fat, slow camera guys with the teams they don't give a shit about. That's what I heard. I'm just throwing it out there.
I never had
that
that
asshole
one.
cameraman in the book.
I got eliminated when I had that one.
You know what? They kept putting the camera people with me that had the strongest personality because I'd run over the basic cameraman and the sound man. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. I said, I'll give you your shot. I'm running a race. And they're like, no, you're making a TV show first. And we would go at it. So they would just send me everybody that they had that was like a tank, an army. And they would get in my face. Boy, I think I was called the devil on production for like 3 seasons after that.
Oh my god.
Jonathan, if they can't film you, they don't use it.
They always give me the fastest cameraman, so that must mean I was really
That's the
shitty.
line.
I still got eliminated.
No, Ray, that was the
cameramen were
line that they would
great.
use on me all the time. They'd
What's
put
that?
the camera down and they would say exactly that. If you're not on film, you can't
Me
use
too.
it. And basically, and then I would just, kind of just keep running. And they'd have to pick up. They would have to, after you've got them pregnant in the second episode, they have to follow you till you get eliminated.
Well, you know what, though? I did the same thing. I tried to carry my partner's backpack. I offered to carry their camera equipment. I didn't care. They couldn't keep up with me. And I would have did whatever it took. But, the bottom line is they win that argument every time.
They do, but we definitely give them a run for their money.
For sure.
Okay, and I'm letting everybody watching know that everyone in the chat room that I am looking at the chat room. So you can throw some questions in there and I'll throw it out to these guys for you. Where the hell was I? Oh, the Southern guys. Did these guys fucking kick ass on putting this little solar oven dish thing together?
Gosh.
I was astounded. I'll tell you right now, I was expecting these guys to be like, where's that screw go? I don't know, where's that screw go? But these guys slapped that fucking thing together and everybody was like, God damn, they're done? I was amazed.
I couldn't believe it either, especially right before that. I believe the line they said was, the only language we speak is country. And I was like, oh, this is going to go well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they did an
exactly.
awesome job.
Yeah, I like Mark and Bopper a lot. I think those guys are a force to be reckoned with. The down-home good old boys, because people underestimate people from the country because they think they're dumb. But I don't think that. I think those guys are pretty good.
Well, they're that kind of people that production will help out if they start doing well because people will like them. And
they are very likable
guys.
guys. They're very likable guys, and in the first episode, they showed that, like, we're really poor. We live together in, like, the back of an alley somewhere in a cardboard
Dave and
box
Mary.
together. We need the money, and people, they like
I don't
that.
think they're as smart as you guys are giving them.
I think
I
they're
like
smart.
them.
I think it's just they have more to play for because they're poor. They
No,
got a lot
and
more on the line than everybody else, though.
They got the best
Everybody's
storyline
motivated,
going,
though.
that's for sure.
I just think they're very likable. I think they're very likable.
Well, how can they not be
Yeah.
likable? They're up in the middle of nowhere, basically talking about having nothing and fighting for their lives.
That's
well,
Dave
you
and
know
Mary.
what? Also, you can't say that
Right,
they're not
exactly,
that
Dave and
smart.
Mary.
You can't say that they're not that smart because he was the one that helped Rachel with the math problem.
Oh, hold on. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. we'll get to Rachel's great mathematics and how pissed off I am at those guys for helping them
You
in just a
lurked
minute.
around.
Where
How
was my
many
next
people are in
thing?
the chat room?
We have 500 right now. We have 4,000 total coming in and out. Let me check some of the questions on how. They're talking about spoilers and who won, and a lot of these people, I guess, a lot of people
Don't
think
tell
it's
me
out and spoiled
that
of
would
who
really
won.
depress me.
Okay, I'm
I don't know
I'm
who
not
won.
saying anything. Go on the websites and see if you want spoilers. Kaylani, are you still friends with Rachel?
I saw her the other day at my work, and she knows that I kind of have a little bit of resentment towards her. I mean, she hasn't been a very good friend to me.
She's been busy on The Bold and the Beautiful and Amazing Race, and she had to collect that $500,000 check.
Well, when I was busy, I have a daughter. I was doing my own things. I was working, and when nobody would speak to her, when she came off of Big Brother, her family wouldn't even speak to her. I was the only one that was there for her. And then I wanted her to come to my premiere parties and be my to be supportive of me. It was never there. It was a very one-sided friendship. It was so. I mean,
with Rachel, I'm shocked.
It was only what I could do for her and not what she could do for, like, it wasn't a give and take like friendship. I was giving and she was taking. That's how it was a give and take. So, I mean, it's great how people love her and think they know her just from seeing her on TV but they don't know the dynamics of her as a person in a friendship and how the
thing about Big Brother that I can definitely attest to is, I had literally had women walking up to me going, you're a very restless sleeper. Are you like that at home? And I'm like, you're fucking watching me sleep? You really need to get a hobby, go buy a vibrator, take up knitting, something. But they watch you, they watch you 24 hours a day, and they truly, truly believe that they know you and that you're their friend or something. And no offense, I have some great fans. I have some fucking asshole fans, but I don't know you. You're not my fucking friend. But that's how people really think when they're watching you 24 hours a day and you're telling them stories about your life and everything else and,
and
all that bullshit.
I wish her the best. I want her to do well in life. I hope, I'm sure one day her and I will sit down and hash it out and see, I'll get it out in the air and be able to talk to her. I mean, I had already sent her a text telling her, I don't appreciate how bad of a friend she's been to me. So, I mean,
do you really care?
That's what I'm thinking, but I didn't say.
I think I have some amazing people around me, and I'm just trying to stay focused on my life right now.
Okay, we got a Kevin Scott 11 says she's narcissistic, egomaniacal, and codependent. Really? Susie from Jupiter says, what's the matter with Brendan that he likes her?
He's the
same. He's that codependent and that narcissistic as well. He thinks he won Brother.
Yeah,
I like how she corrected him. I won Big Brother.
Yeah, you don't.
It was actually, and it was actually my daughter that got him voted out twice last season. Not once, and here's where we're talking about manipulation, where they bring Brendan back in the house again because they want all the drama and they know that separate, they're not near as drama-filled. So Brendan comes back in the house again, and my daughter has to get his ass voted out again in the same season.
There are very few reality people that aren't narcissistic. So
that's very true. Very put myself in with that one for sure.
I don't know. I like I said last week. I think Brendan is kind of just like a fame in the closet fame whore, and he's just trying to pretend oh yeah, I'm a UCLA student, so that he doesn't have to say, oh yeah, I want to be an actor and try to parlay this into acting, my reality career. I think that's
you must have been an ice cream man on The Bold and the Beautiful. Come on.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Let's talk about how much the the Border Patrol hates these two. Every chance they get, the fucking Border Patrol hates them. He said something, he brought up UCLA student, and he said something about we don't want to go first because Brendan will follow us because he's got no brains from being a UCLA student or something like that. And then there's another thing that goes on. That's who we love to go by. Those two from Big Brother. And then there was another one where we're not following those Nimrods. As a matter of fact, we have a clip of these guys ripping on Rachel and Brendan. And let's roll that one really quick.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, yeah. Who's that?
The cop, the Border Patrol.
Oh, that's who we love to go by. That was Big Brother. It's all right. We're good, huh? Yeah. That's for ripping our tool out of your hand, Arthur.
And they just don't like them. And I like the fact that they don't like them.
I love it. From the beginning of the episode, they were pissed off that they were following him, right? Isn't that how it started off?
Yeah. And he didn't want to go first. He's like, Brendan wants us to pass him, so we'll show him the way. And we're not going to show him, we're not going to lead him or anything like that.
You know what that leads to, though, is they become fixated on another team instead of worrying about their own game. We had that in our season with Rob and Amber, and Susan and Patrick seemed to be fixated on where they were and what they were doing instead of paying attention, and worrying about their own game. So I think that's not a strategy that makes any sense. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and this thing, I wish that there was more ways to sabotage people and really fuck the other
There
teams
used
up.
in the race 1 through 4. There was the fast forward, and there was sabotaging, and there was group playing. They completely stripped the game and
We
made
had a
it a
fast forward.
scavenger hunt. I mean, from 1 to 4 it was one game, and from 5 to 8 it was another game, and 9 to present 9 to 14 it was another game. And now they figured out a way to run people around each city. If you notice, the mileage that they cover in a season has dropped by about 30,000 miles.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Because they
No, I didn't
stopped
notice that.
running them around the world ragged, and they kept them in regions and made them run around, as I said, like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's a very good point.
Now, speaking of the scavenger hunt, going to the cattle. Okay, even if you're bad at math, this is like such basic math. And if I'm insulting anybody here, I'm really sorry. But I mean, really, it's like, you have to count the number of head of cattle in one of the pens and divide it by the dollar amount that it went by, right? I mean, how hard can this be? Is everybody misplacing their decimals? Is Rachel over there trying to add or trying to multiply? I don't know what the hell's going on, but Bopper and Mark, Rachel would have been there all night long. All night.
Do you know
It would
why?
have been a race between them and the clowns for last place.
I wish
I
that
don't
did
know.
happen.
So do I. Too many
I know
people
one
are
thing
too
about
nice.
the race. These guys can attest to this. That they test you every way you could possibly be tested. IQ test, attitude test, aptitude test, every kind of test. And they don't test the people they cross over from other shows. So I'm not quite sure that, that was a
Are you talking
criteria
about the
that they
psych
were-
test and all of this stuff before? Oh, yeah, they test you.
I mean,
Yeah.
did you have
We have
IQ,
to
psych
do-
tests, aptitude,
Oh, yeah.
everything?
But it doesn't mean that if you're not smart enough, they're not going to put you on.
Well,
If
they
just
tend
don't want
to do that, though. They tend to.
parted line, they'll put you on Big Brother.
That's all it takes.
For the race, you'll be left behind another.
Oh, sorry,
continent.
that's the mentally challenged line. Don't send me any mail.
What happened with Rachel? She just got the answer from somebody else. I missed that part.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? It was the guy from Kentucky that helped her out.
Yeah.
He actually did all the math for her.
Yeah, it was the
Just
black
gave
guy.
her the answer.
Yeah,
That's one thing I
Yeah.
hate about the race. Everybody always wants to fucking help each other.
that's what I say too. If people ask
On our
me,
season.
which way you go, I would say go that way.
They
If they
wanna
say, what's the
help them.
answer, I would give them the wrong answer.
Me too.
Last season,
I would
there
love
was
to know the
somebody,
answer.
there was someone on the train last season, I don't remember who it was, that didn't have a fucking ticket. And
That was
everybody
me.
knew that they didn't have a ticket. And I said I would have gotten up, gone to the conductor, and said, "This motherfucker doesn't have a ticket.
No,
Kick him off
no,
here.
no,
It's
no.
$1 million."
No,
I tried doing
no,
something
let
like
me-
that last season, and we got to the temple really earlier than everybody else, and Justin and Jennifer started entering the wrong way, and I told the twins not to tell them the right way. I was like, "Shh, don't tell them. We need the time to figure out what's going around on the temple." So when they got up there, Jennifer looks at me and she's like, "Oh yeah, real classy. Nobody's played like that yet." And I'm like,
Yeah, then
"Well,
they
it's
act like you're
$1
a
million.
jerk.
Like,
Our
I'm
whole
not
season
trying to
was like
offend
that.
Keep the weak so that you can control the game. That is how reality competition shows are. Seriously, end of story. Get rid of the people that that can beat you.
No, you
So
might
why
have
would
people then?
Why would Bopper and Mark help someone that they know goddamn well just won $500,000 3 months before?
They don't watch television.
Yeah.
No, it's because
Channel 2 don't come in good in the South.
it's because
I gotta send Bopper up on the roof over here. He's gotta have his leg up and one arm out.
You know why? It's because their Bopper and the Kentucky guys are good people. He saw her crying, and he has a big heart, obviously, and she played on his emotions a little bit, and that's what any girl crying like the guy gets into
come
it.
on.
And he gave into it. He gave into it. He is like hooked.
She has a boyfriend there. He ain't gonna get laid. It's like, fuck that
No,
shit.
but he's
See
so
ya.
bad.
Okay, Lonnie, you're right. Some people just are how they are, and they're nice people, they're good people, and they don't compete at that level. They
It's
would rather.
$1 million.
They don't think like that. They don't process
Really
it that way. That,
$600,000.
Well, I know, like,
Yeah, what, after taxes?
I don't know if anybody else ran into this, but like
Yeah.
one time when I was on the show and we didn't want to help somebody or we like gave the wrong information, everybody made it like we were the assholes, and I was like, I think that's a good fucking strategy. I don't know, like
our
why
whole
would
season
we
did
tell?
that. That's how we played it. Our whole season. Well, that was Rob was on that season, and that's all everybody did was lie and mislead everybody. It was Survivor on the Amazing
That's
Race.
what it
You
should
had
be.
Rob and Amber on the
Right.
show leading the whole pack. Of course you're going to have
They didn't
that
lead the whole
game.
pack on
I
our
loved
show.
it.
Let me tell you, if I was on that show, I would like be putting landmines for people to blow themselves up. It's $1 million.
And it makes for good
I'm with
TV
you.
as well.
That's right.
Setting
That's
for
right.
traps.
Conflict is what they want.
And that's what there should be more of on this show. Okay, let's. We were talking about
Bring
Rachel's
back
fake
the
crying.
fast forward. Bring back the fast forward, God damn it. Bring
That's
it
how we want
back.
our cars.
Gas for life, the best prize ever on a reality show.
What's that?
I think that there should be something somewhere, like on one leg of the thing in the middle somewhere. If you find a special clue, you get to choose the team you want to switch places with. Well, you're in first place,
that would
now
be
you're in
cool.
last place, motherfucker.
I love that.
Like an ejector
that.
seat or
That's a
something.
good idea. That's a good
that.
idea.
That would be great.
Just for
Yeah,
one
I think it
challenge,
would make
that's
it
a good
more
idea.
interesting. And then you'd have people pissed off. We were in first place, and you fucking, we missed out on a trip to Aruba because of you, motherfucker.
I like that idea.
Let's go to the next clip, which is Rachel's fake crying.
Yay.
She's getting really frustrated.
I can't talk. I'm really bad.
I think Rachel can do it. She just needs to not stress.
Brendan hates my guts right now.
Right now, we just need our teammates not to stress. Thanks, man.
Follow. That was great teamwork.
We helped each other out, got out. Big Brother was struggling by herself. She was looking at us and saying, what do I do? And I'm not going to help her run the race. I mean, I'll help Rachel from Nature Dave because we reciprocate. The Big Brother, they're tag-alongs. So we just blew by her. Sorry, sucker, we're out of here. But I don't feel bad about that, not one bit.
I'm really bad at that.
Check one more.
Keep it cool.
Hey, work with more.
I thought that was the booger clip. Do we have a booger clip? I was
Those
waiting
are
for the
fun
booger clip.
burgers.
Roll the... Oh, okay, but we have the booger one. Okay, let's roll the booger clip and just get Rachel out of the way. I'm kind of sick of talking about it.
Promised you wouldn't.
Okay, baby, stop. Don't cry, please. I'm sorry, I'm not blaming you. You're right. Okay, we made a mistake. We need a taxi. Okay, I'm sorry.
sorry.
You're fine.
I tried.
Stop. You're doing good, okay? Just stop. Okay? Rachel,
I'm sorry.
Give me
I
this.
can't
Give me-
do
you-
things under pressure.
stop. You're fine. Focus.
I'm trying.
Okay, get back in the game. Back in the game, okay?
You have a booger on your nose.
Oh, thank you.
The best line of the entire show right there.
I got a question because I didn't see. How did that person win Big Brother? I can't comprehend that.
There's a lot. She's very competitive.
It's not
She's
a
very
real
competitive.
show.
She's
Danielle
very
really won the
competitive.
season. Let's call a spade a spade.
I didn't
Say it
see
again?
the season, but I can't.
Danielle really won the season. Let's call a spade a spade.
Oh, come on. Danielle got her ass kicked. She played a terrible game.
Oh, I liked her. I think the game. I liked what she did. I think she came up with a baseball bat and shoved it up a lot of people's asses.
But the thing is you have to win. She played the same game
Okay.
that the season that we played together where we came in 1 and 2. She played the same game, and I'm not trying to take credit. I'm just calling it out the way it is.
It almost worked.
She fucked up the same way that she did in my season. And I mean, she took herself out of an alliance with the strongest competitors in the game and put herself in an alliance with Kalia and Lawan, who basically voted himself out of the game, thinking he was going to come back with special powers. And she put herself up together with a bunch of idiots, went up in the
Good
HOH,
moves.
and never came out of the HOH. Nah, I thought she played really
Moves,
shitty.
Come on, some credit. God damn it, give her something.
Nah, she made it She made the season interesting at least. She
God,
tried.
You're harsh. You're harsh. If my kid was on Big Brother, I don't know if I could say that to her, even if she was the worst fucking player on the show.
Yeah, you have to remember this. Me and Danielle don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and she's talked a lot of shit about me. And she holds a lot of resentment over the fact that I won that season, where she thinks that that I overshadow her. So she's trying to make big plays in the game constantly instead of playing the game. She was all about the big move.
You did overshadow her, and you did win.
Well, that's her fault. It's not my fault.
Yeah, I got it.
She could have won it easy. If she was nice, she would have won.
No, she couldn't have won it against you.
I was an asshole. She
couldn't have won it against you. Are you kidding me?
In season 8, if she was nice, I think she could have won.
Not a chance. Moves are moves. Power is power. You get there or you don't.
We were a good team, and I've always said that we were a great team together. She was a bit better in competitions than I was. But, believe it or not, I had more of the social game. Rhino is over there telling, Rhino's in the chat room, and he's reminding me about Catalina from a couple years ago when we had a scavenger hunt, and I sabotaged all of the other teams where they couldn't find one clue. I actually hid it in a big pig oven, and that's the shit that I would have pulled on Amazing Race. And we ended up, I think our team came first in that section, and I ended up getting two free round trip tickets to wherever JetBlue flew, and we went to Turks and Caicos, as a matter of fact. My girlfriend had a very nice time.
Lovely.
Compliments of that Survivor trip. Survivor's had now their producer. We were talking about the Amazing Race producer with the poisoning that died in Africa, and now all of a sudden the Survivor producer that is allegedly accused of killing his wife in Mexico is now trying to speak out from jail in Mexico to raise some money for his defense. I'm really sorry. If you're going to kill your wife, I think I would have done it here, not there.
Yeah, think it through.
I thought he was going to get away with it there.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the one guy that killed his wife when they were scuba diving was the whole case was thrown out. If you guys haven't heard of this one, anyhow, catch up on your news somewhere else. Going to the chat room real quick. Get to the video mailbag asshats. Oh, that's Rhino again. We only have one video mailbag, and we will get to the one video mailbag, but I'm going to remind everyone watching that go to rtvzone.com, and you can go and submit your own video mailbag for us, where we get a huge response for the Big Brother recaps and the Survivor recaps, where you can see yourself being broadcast here, and all of us will answer your question for you. And we got to the booger. That was
What's that?
Go ahead.
Dave and Rachel, the pretty.
I like those two.
They're tough,
I really
I think I think they got a chance of really running a good, solid race, and for us all to have respect for them running that race. What do you think, Ray?
I agree. I think it's too early to tell because in the first couple episodes, everybody's running around with chickens with their heads cut off, and you really don't know who's going to emerge. But if I had to put my money on somebody, I think they would be at the top of the list.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, these two, they came in first, the first two legs. These guys are kicking ass. They're doing a really good job. And they don't like Rachel and Brendan either.
I do like Rachel and Brad. I think I'm the only one who wants to see them actually make it through the first half so that we can actually continue to talk about them.
I actually think Rachel and Brendan are going to win. I really do.
Oh, no,
they're
very
not. Competitive.
Not a chance.
They are very good. I will attest both of them.
They're strong competitors.
Very strong competitors.
Brendan is going to win?
Yep, I do.
Wow, that's a big prediction. He's
got
boogers all over his nose.
I'm going to leave the booger thing alone after this. I like how the whole thing was, he's like, come on, babe, I know we can do this, we'll get a cab, to put it behind you, get your head back in the game, and he's all building her up, and she's like, Brendan, you have booger on your nose.
He's so nice during that clip that it actually makes her seem more annoying. Is he nice? I don't know him.
I mean, do you think it's nice?
Afterwards, she looked so mad at him in the car. I have a feeling that there was some behind-the-scenes drama about the booger.
Nobody wants to be outed. Nobody wants to be outed for a booger on national TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we talked about Rachel and Dave, which is who do you guys like? Okay, we had Kaylani's pick. Who do you guys like so far? Jonathan, you like the Dave and Rachel?
I do. I think that they're going to run a very competitive game, and unless something, unstoppable or unthinkable happens, I think they're going to be at the top three. I think the two, Nancy and Jamie, I think they're going to have
Nary and
some,
Jamie.
Nari and Jamie.
Nary, yeah.
Nary and Jamie. I think they're tough. Talk about tough. They're
Yeah.
tough. They're running around with guns and, they think this is child's play. So they have a really good shot at kind of moving through this game if the game doesn't get to them. Because you have to
Yeah.
get used to the game for the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then everything settles down and we really will figure out who can really run towards the light or away from the light.
Yeah. Good point.
No, I believe that too. I think so. And then you always have the chance of one thing fucking you up and you're out. And if, we didn't have, the Southern boys helping Rachel out, she would have been there all
I
day,
think so.
all night, until the next day, crying and sulking. Because when you get frustrated like that, especially with math, you ain't never going to figure it out. You're never going to figure it out. Never,
Maybe
ever,
that's
ever.
a penalty eventually.
Not only something not good at, but something like a flat tire or a bad taxi driver or something completely out of your control. There's a lot of that happens on the race, so you never
the
know.
taxi drivers are the worst. When you get stuck with a
That's
bad
key.
cab driver, it's like that's
that's the
most
worst.
frustrating part.
You get into a cab, you ask them 3 questions. How much gas do you have? Do you know where this is specifically? And can you speak English? And the
Can you
moment they
speak
say
English?
yes to everything, because you know they're going to say it, you ask them what color the sky is. And if they can't say blue, you get into the next cab.
They say yes.
That's a good point.
Yes, see.
So yeah, that's all they do. Yeah,
That's why you have to ask them what color the sky is.
So I asked my cab drivers all those questions, and after they said yes, they still messed up, and I had to say every curse word I knew just to get all my frustration out. The poor guy.
Back to teams. I know when I first saw the first episode that I thought the brothers would be the team to beat because
The
they
twins.
were two males, the twins.
They
two
don't show
males,
them very often.
and that's usually what happens. They show the teams that tend to get eliminated first. So you have some sort of connection with them. And the ones that come out of the pack and out of the blue are the ones that end up being there for the duration. But two males, they're both strong, and if they figure the game out, I think they're going to be a team that really to beat.
I think that, going to these guys,
Fucking alpha
they probably
males.
were great during casting, and they probably just haven't really shown anything yet so far.
One's a
Were
professional
any of
soccer
you guys
player.
were any? Oh, yeah, that was this part that they did show was because they had Argentinian's hero soccer player, and then they show him bouncing the ball back and forth. Were any of you guys cast by Erica Landon, or you know who Erica Landon is?
I know
in
she
casting for The
is.
Amazing Race.
It wasn't Caspar.
She was in.
Caspar.
Big Brother.
She was in season 4 of Big Brother. She got big
And
credits
All-Stars.
as one of the executive casting directors for this season of Amazing Race, and she's been in casting for quite a while. And one of the stories when I met her last year at the Reality Rally was the Cho brothers came up. Are you guys familiar with the Cho brothers?
Yes.
Okay. And she's like, "Oh, the Chos," and she's like, "They were these guys," and she just grabs them and starts talking about them to their face to me like they're not there. These guys were the greatest during their audition and their casting process. Then we put them on the show and they sucked. They were so horrible. I still hear about the Chos to this day. And the guy's like, but wait. She's like, shut up. You were terrible. It was hilarious. I'm just sitting there rolling. But it's a
funny to hear.
crapshoot with casting. You don't know what you're getting.
Because I think some people know to play to the cameras, and some people go on who haven't been on TV before or anything, and they just go and they're doing the challenges and they're focusing. You know what I mean? They're not sitting here oh, watch us do this, watch us do this. They're just no, let's freaking get this done. You know what I mean? I think it's a difference between where you're.
Well, they're focused on the money, or the game or whatever it is, instead of playing to the cameras. But
As
you
I
got to
said,
keep
fuck
in mind
the
that it's a
alpha
fucking
males.
it's a television show.
Right.
Fuck
You have to
the
do
alpha
both.
males.
Say it
What
again.
about?
Fuck the alpha males. Get them off the seasons. I'm sick of them coming up front and fucking boring.
That's why I said, though, that would be a team that, and they always do well in most cases, in most
That's
seasons.
why I don't like them.
I agree with that.
I was very
you're an alpha male.
disappointed, and I was very sad to see my team, the Clowns, go home.
Aww.
But I was sitting on. He's
Not
been
the first
waiting
team
to
of
do
clowns,
that.
I
by
was
the way.
really sad to
I
see them
chime
go
in
home
about the
too.
Clowns for a little bit. I felt so bad that they got eliminated. For those of you that joined us last week, you know that I had a special affinity for the Clowns. And the Papa Clown, Dave, I remember he said something to the effect like, I don't know how to do long division. And I'm thinking, Dave, what the fuck were you doing in grade school, clowning around in the back of the room, playing pocket pool or something like that? And it just goes to show you, for the kids listening out there, you never know what kind of challenges you're going to come across on the American race. So you better pay attention to all subjects in schools.
That was just basic. It was so basic math. I was like literally shocked that these people had such a tough time with this basic. I mean, I could understand if they had so much problems with, if they would have made it a little more complicated by saying, how much per pound did this beef go for? Where they had to divide the number of cows by the price it went for, by the pounds of, because they gave them the pounds
You know
that
who
it
got
weighed.
that fast? Vanessa.
Yeah,
Vanessa
she
got
Yes.
that really fast. I think she
Are
was
you
like-
talking about the one that's the mother helping her kid with homework?
No. Vanessa is the one. I
Sorry.
think next week she gets in a fight with Rachel, actually.
Oh, I know who you're
With
talking
Rachel.
about.
Yes. With
Which one do you
Rachel,
think?
Big Brother.
Yeah,
Rachel.
I should've known.
Yeah. I think she actually. That's what they kind of showed what the previews were for next week. So, but Vanessa actually got that really fast. She was in and out of there like no other, like a maniac.
Well, if you knew what to do, then it was easy. Like if you knew
That's
math
that's
problem was easy.
that's exactly right. If you know math, it's
Right.
easy. If you don't, you can forget about it. It's like doing an algebra problem.
Yeah, then go home with nothing.
But I was surprised at how quick the one that said I've been helping my daughter with her homework. So that's what made this easy for me. She's been doing this because she's had to
What,
help her
Carrie
daughter with her
Stacey?
homework.
Carrie and
Carrie and
Stacey?
Stacey.
Smarter than a
Yes.
fifth grader.
What's that?
Carrie
I
and
said
Stacy,
smarter.
the cousins.
Yes.
There's people in the chat room. Who's it? Or Beaver says, not once did they wear clown makeup with the sad face.
I know.
You know what? The clowns
think they
in
should have made
season
them do the whole
4 were
race with the
pretty
clown.
amazing. So
They
they
were
had a
better.
lot to live up to. These
Yes.
guys had a lot to live up to. They should have brought
I
tricks
agree.
and done anything. Because in season 4, those clowns made that season, in my opinion.
They were
that's
by
what I'm
far
talking about.
the highlight of that season. Yep.
And I think you know what? I think actually Joey Fitness from this season is watching because I know he hit me up on Twitter, so we never talked about them.
Oh my God, I
Jersey
love watching
boys.
them. They hold a special place in my heart because I'm from New Jersey. So like,
Joey and
I love
Danny?
watching them in the car. Like, yo, bro, like we gotta get there. Let's go. Come back, kids. I was like, this is great. keep them going. Keep them talking.
Nice.
Those
I
are the
think
guys
what-
that wanted to be on the Jersey Shore but wound up on The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Enzo a couple
Well.
seasons ago on Big Brother. Yeah, they gotta put the Jersey Shore thing in a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. So, but I think what really made it the end of the episode, I was sitting watching with my girlfriend, and she's crying at the end because of the clown that had, what was it, lymphoma a couple times, or Hodgkin's, or whatever.
Oh
What-
yeah, he had
A couple times he had
I
beat
think he-
cancer a couple times,
he
and
had two-time cancer survivor of Hodgkin's.
Hodgkins.
Yeah.
yeah, and he says, just being here with my wife makes it all worthwhile, and da-da-da-da, and my girlfriend's over there. I'm like, are you crying? She's like, yes.
They were so nice though. The wife was like so
They were.
nice and supportive. Like I don't know. I appreciated that.
I
Now
almost
you guys
feel like
can
they
get the
should tell
sense of why
everybody.
I love them so much.
I almost feel like they should tell everybody's story first and like what they're going through, but they wait till their elimination episode to say like why they're doing it or like really what's going on with their lives. Does that make sense? Like if we would have known I'm sure audiences
It-
would have had a different viewpoint if they would have known certain things about certain people.
It's not going to
Taking
change
only-
the race.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I do
That's
think
true.
though
It wouldn't
those
change
stories at those exit interviews like that are one of the main reasons why the race wins the Emmy all the time. It makes it a very emotional, dramatic type of show as well as a competition show.
Oh,
agree.
whenever you have anyone really trying hard and getting stuck, I can't remember the deaf guy's name from, was it a couple
Oh, Luke.
seasons ago?
Luke.
And I met him last year at the Reality Rally thing. Keep pushing that, but
I actually
really,
asked them to join us, Luke and Marty.
Really? he's
but,
a great guy.
Yeah, they couldn't join us this time but they said another time they'll probably join.
Yeah, I met him last year over at the Reality Rally, and I was just like, oh, dude, man, you broke America's heart with the iced tea, trying to figure out which one it was. What did
Yeah.
he taste like 700? And you had to drink the whole cup of iced tea. I mean, the guy like drank everything of iced tea in the whole hall or whatever it was. One of our producers isn't as sympathetic. The sound effects.
No, his mom was so encouraging, and that was such a sweet moment of that season.
Oh, and he was just all broken down and crying, and even when he finally got it, all of the people there are all like, yay, yay. I'm just sitting there, oh man, this poor bastard. That would have to be absolute misery. Okay, I think that we have, let's hit up who are we rooting for? Is this the same as who we think our favorites are, or who are we rooting for?
Brendan and Rachel, because they make good television. So as long as they stay on this season and they continually screw up and they fight with each other and she cries, I'll be happy, because the rest of it is probably going to go
What
to
is that?
Rachel.
You know who said that last season for Big Brother when I had her on a recap? It's Shannon Elizabeth, who was the foreign exchange student in American Pie, is a huge Big Brother fan. She came on, did the recap, and she said the exact same. They like the drama. They like it, makes it interesting. She loved Brendan and Rachel. Kaylani, who are you rooting for?
You know, there's two teams that I like absolutely love. Like I like Neri and Jamie and Dave and Rachel. I don't know, I'd really like. But then there's Marky Bopper. For me, it's too early to tell too, I think. But I don't know. I really like Dave and Rachel. No, you know what? Screw it. I want another all-girl team. I want Neri and Jamie.
Do you think it's smart or stupid or it even matters that Neri and Jamie are lying, that they're federal agents and telling everybody that they're school teachers?
I
love
don't
it.
think it's stupid.
I
think
love it. What are you talking about?
I
You
don't
gotta
see any
love that
advantage.
type
I don't
of
see any
play.
strategic
What difference does it
advantage
make?
to
It doesn't.
think
You're
that
either a good
it-
racer or you're not.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
agree. It makes no strategic advantage at all to them.
I think for them thinking that it probably makes people, you know, when you get to a one point in the race and you think everybody's behind you or in front of you, then like at least people will always think they're behind them. If that makes sense.
I think
Is
that
that your dog?
they probably think that people would be more apt to help them out if they
Yeah.
need the
Oh,
help,
yeah,
if they're a
that's
school
true.
teacher as opposed to a federal agent. And we all watched, some of us watched Survivor a couple seasons ago with Philip, the former federal agent who ran around Survivor in his pink underwear for the entire season.
He
The
was
black guy in his
nuts.
pink underwear.
He was
with the
original.
feathers in- Yeah, without a doubt. He was, and you know what? I guarantee he'll be back. Otev, your clowns are gone. Who's your next favorite? Who are you rooting for?
Well, now that the clowns are gone,
He's very disappointed.
I'm very disappointed and upset about that. But what are you going to do? It's the American race, right? Which I think I like Mark and Bopper now because those guys had the down-home teammanship, and they're kind of funny. I just hope that yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just hope that the Bopper, you know, he can contain his yakking a little bit. He seems to yak a lot, and you know, sometimes that might be bad if he yaks.
I thought your grandfather was yak a lot.
No, I mean, he yaks a lot. He throws up a lot. You know what I mean. Sometimes the English is not so good. But, yeah, I like the Mark and the Bopper. And I just think that the Bopper, you know, he needs to be a little bit more careful about helping other people out because it came back to bite him in the ass. They could have been second place, and I think they ended up in the third place because of it.
Cat?
So that's where I come out. Mark and Bopper. I think I like them. And as far as the psychological operation of, the feds pretending they're school teachers, I could see that could be kind of lame, but you never know. That could trick some peoples into making them think that they're kind of soft. So we'll have to see what happens with those guys.
They're not coming across like they're soft.
You don't
No,
Yeah, that's
I
also
agree
true.
with that.
You make a good point there, yeah. Yeah. It's anybody's race at this time, but I like the Bopper.
Yeah, it's still really early. Kat, who do you like? Who's your favorite? Who are you rooting for?
Well, I don't really even know my favorite team's name. Rachel and Dave.
Dave.
The
Rachel
blonde?
and
Yeah,
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, I like them a lot. I think that they're really strong and they have like a good dynamic together. But like I said, I have a place in my heart for the Long Island guys.
Aw.
I
Joey and
know.
Danny.
Gotta
That's,
Joey to
Fitness
the
and
East
Danny.
Coast.
Actually, I was raised on Long Island. Thank you, Franklin Square, Elmont area. Went to Sewanaka with Vinny Testaverde. That's my
Oh, so
claim
there
to
you
high
go.
school fame. Who do we get to? Ray.
Yes.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm not really rooting for anybody yet. I'm trying to figure that out. But I guess the Kentucky guys, except I can't root for somebody named Bopper. So I can't take that seriously. I don't know. There's nobody stands out to me right now as a favorite. Somebody that might do well, I gave my opinion on that already. But somebody that might grow on me, I don't see anybody yet that has done that.
I'm liking Mark and Bopper just because they're very likable guys. They're
Yeah.
down home country boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make me laugh.
And it's just dawning on me. I don't know why. Jonathan, we met at the Playboy Mansion, right?
Yes, we did. And
That-
we had
you know,
one hell
I-
of a good party.
That's right.
4th
I
of
think
July 2 years ago.
that's right. I was
Thanks for
hanging
inviting
out
me,
with
Jonathan.
Seth
You
Green
don't
up
live
there.
here. You live in Ohio.
I'll
That's
come
right.
out there. You know that. I'll be.
I think we were about 30 minutes into this, and it dawned on me, and I was going to say something. I'm like, I don't want to take this sideways. I'll wait till the end. And that's right. And we hung out, and we had a good time that 4th of
did.
July. That was interesting. They had that big water slide down the back of the hill there. Yeah, it
I
was.
tried to get you to go on. And you were like, no, I want
I was
to
in
drink.
jeans, dude. I was in jeans, and I don't
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
underwear. I was
you
going to
know.
whip them up and go down there bare
You got
ass.
underwear on.
No, I don't wear
Yeah,
underwear.
sorry.
Sorry.
It would be the first at the Playboy.
Yeah, you are at the Playboy Mansion.
This
it
is
would be
very
the
true.
first time.
I'm sure they would appreciate seeing the women naked more than they would appreciate seeing my bare ass upside down going down the back of the hill on a water slide.
You never
Uh,
know.
This is true. We have one video mailbag. Let's play that video mailbag and we can wrap this thing up for tonight.
Hi, Amazing Racers and Evil Dick. My name is Carrie, and I was just wondering about, on both Survivor and Big Brother, I've heard former contestants talk about how being a super fan can actually end up being more of a hindrance than a help to your game. I was wondering about The Amazing Race, if the same holds true. Do you think being a fan of the show is actually helpful, or do you think it can impact in a bad way the same as it does in Big Brother and Survivor? Thanks.
Well, you're welcome.
I think that it could help and not help because, I mean, obviously it gives you an advantage if you know what you're talking about. But then I know me in some situations definitely overthought things, like things were a trick or, that.
I disagree. I think being a fan is always helpful. I think being a super fan really gives you an understanding of what you're getting yourself into before you get there. And when you are actually playing the game, if you have that knowledge is power. Power is what gets you to the next point. And if you don't have that, you're blinded.
But I think being a super fan to an extreme is a hindrance in getting cast on the show. I think they shy away from
that. I agree with.
those kinds
I
of
agree
people.
100%.
But they do it. They've done it on Survivor. We had Cochran last season
Cochran.
that was a super fan. On Big
That's
Brother, we
great.
had Adam that was a super fan. Both of them played not good. Adam actually made it to final three, but he didn't really do anything worth a shit. Cochran made just most obvious mistakes in it. I was a really big fan, and
Cochran
it
tried to
took
make some
me.
big moves, though. He tried. He was.
It was desperation moves, but everybody knew what was going to
You don't
happen.
like to
With
give
the merge
anybody any
game,
fucking
you
credit,
knew he was
man.
going to be out first, and then he ended up going out first or second or whatever.
You don't give anybody any credit, though. These are hard.
You got to win, man. You got to win. It's all about winning.
Yeah,
Who cares who came in second or
Scoreboard.
third or
Scoreboard, right?
played a good game? It's all about going home with the big check. Ask
I
Sandra.
agree.
She has two $1 million checks. So,
right.
But I think
You're the
that
only fucking
there's
winner
other I know Dan from Big Brother was a huge fan of the show. I was a big fan of Big Brother, and when it took me 3 seasons to get on, and when I would be in the finals, like for season 5 and season 6, I went back and watched every season again, just to refresh, because people are people and people act a certain way, and how people are manipulated, so on and so forth, and how other people play, and you take little pieces of everybody's game that work for them and you try to work it into your own game. But
I agree.
I do.
And
agree
you're
with
right.
that, too.
Knowledge is power, but sometimes it doesn't work that way in casting. Like I
Once
said, I
again,
think casting.
you're the only winner here.
Really?
Yeah,
Son
that's
of a
true.
bitch.
Yeah.
That's why they
No,
have us on
OTEV.
cover.
OTEV is from the Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, what do they
Czech
give you for
Republic.
winning that? A couple chickens?
Wait.
We got 2 chickens. The winner of Amazing Race in Czechoslovakia gets 2 chickens and a goat.
You won Czechoslovakia Amazing Race?
And you get the chickens,
Yeah,
and
he
then
won
you get the legal marijuana growing operation, which I'm intending to right now.
How many miles
It's
did you
nice.
travel on your show, on your season? How many miles, and where, and what were the boundaries of
Hold
the
on, my computer's
countries?
gonna die.
Just no boundaries. We just went in Czechoslovakia the whole time, like a round robin. Pretty hardcore, right? Yeah.
You never left. You never
Like the
left.
family
country?
edition.
Can you believe that? Our budget's a little bit lower than the American
Did
Amazing
they starve
Race,
you?
Yeah, of course.
Sleep
That's how
deprived
they.
of you?
That's how they do that. It's
Yeah.
like the military, the Czechoslovakian style. Yeah,
You slept on a rock is what you did every night.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they could easily do Amazing Race in America.
Well, they did, the family edition.
Oh, that was all the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah, stayed in the U.S.
And it sucked.
Yeah, I could see.
Okay.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
And she's back.
Yes.
Well, while you were gone, I just want you to know that we all talk shit about you.
Oh, awesome.
Now that she's
I
here,
love it.
everybody, shh. And I wanted to mention the last video mailbag that I love your cat, lady. Cat lady. Cat lady.
It was
Anyhow.
a cat, actually.
A nice white cat. No pussy jokes? Anybody? No? Really?
Wow.
Wow.
I'm holding back.
Hey, would you 2 girls do Playboy?
Me? Oh, yeah, I would. Absolutely.
Look at that face Cat's making.
And Cat?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Would
come
you
on.
do Playboy?
Depends on the check,
She
right?
just said she would. I was going to
No,
ask
not you. I was
Cat.
thinking it.
Jonathan, you.
Me.
She's
Yeah,
asking
fuck,
you.
I'm not
Yeah,
a
Jonathan,
girl.
would you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Playboy's so soft. It's so not a baits in there, and they glisten you, and they make you look so beautiful that anybody who no one's you can always keep your legs like that at the time. So,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
no...
Everyone always says they do it so classy.
They do.
No, Playboy is, it's not like,
Playboy gets a bad rap from everybody, and I'm here to say that he's a really nice guy, and the magazine itself is classy.
I have to agree with that.
So
Yeah.
we vote for Cat's
And I
vote.
would say that my man posing nude, there's a friend of mine that's in a band. His name is EJ Curse. Posted Playgirl years and years and years ago. And whenever I'm drunk and want to fuck with him, I always bring it up on my phone and pass it around and show everybody the size of his dick. And he's like, and he's just like, dude, I wish I would have never done that. He said he was engaged to Heather. They actually just got married, but they were engaged for 10 years. And he's like, it's just kind of weird when your mother-in-law has seen your dick and you know it. Yeah, you gotta keep that in mind.
Because he did Cosmo in the first Playgirl, so I wonder how he really feels at the end of the day, if he regrets it.
Oh, Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh, I doubt that. That was a big deal for him. That was
Wow.
Smokey and the Bandit days, man.
It was before that.
That was actually when women bought Playgirl and not just gay guys.
Exactly. Absolutely.
All right. Let's wrap up this edition of the RTB Zone Amazing Race recap. And for the people that are watching, that are still watching us in the as going on the website and stuff, there is a little donation button to your left or to your right or up or down or somewhere And this isn't cheap for us to put on with this video conferencing and the bandwidth and all that stuff. So take the time and donate just a little bit. Not asking for a lot, just a little. It helps out and helps us keep this going. If you're enjoying the show, help us keep it going. And really thank everyone for being here. And it was nice meeting Ray. I haven't met. Kat, I haven't met. Otev's old. And Jonathan up at the Playboy Mansion. I feel like old friends now.
See you at Temecula?
Who's going to Temecula? I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I want to, but
John, you won't be there?
But what?
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Do you want me to get you in touch with Jillian?
Yeah, get me in touch with. Well, I think I have her on Facebook. I'll find her.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's my daughter's birthday.
Oh, that's right. You said that last week.
Kaylani, you're not going?
No, I'm not going to be there. It's my
Is
little
Ryan
girl's
going?
5th birthday. He's probably going to be at her party out in Vegas with me too.
Okay.
So, yeah, priorities.
Yeah,
I had a
I
great
agree.
time
I
last year. Every time someone would come up and they had a book with all the pictures and stuff, and I probably had like 300 people like lined up and I'm signing, on my, and then every picture I signed, I would flip it over to Rhinos and draw like a pointy beard and a big curly mustache and a deep widow's peak on his face. Every single time you turn around and go, would you fucking knock it off?
He's probably going to have to know because he's listening.
So it was a lot of fun. If you're not going, you should check it out. And you guys watching, come down and race with us down in Temecula in April, I think. Winning. Hold on, winning. I'm here in Colorado, and I hear about his ex-wife like all the time being like charged with cocaine, this and that. Anyhow, we'll catch you next week here on rtvzone.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.